TV35 Suburban Cablevision presents from St. George's Avenue, Woodbridge Township's 32nd Annual Christmas Parade. And hello everyone, and welcome to Woodbridge Township. I'm Paul Spahala. With me today, Jack Fay. And Jack, although the weather is cold, which of course is reminiscent of Christmas, it's a nice, bright, clear day, and it should be a great day to watch a parade.
Paul, absolutely. It's Woodbridge is a winter wonderland in more ways than one. On behalf of Mayor McCreevy and the Woodbridge Council, we want to thank you and Suburban for, again, broadcasting one of our two major campaigns. This is the 32nd Christmas parade, the biggest by far. We've been told it's the biggest in the state. It's good to have you with us. We
have any number of bands and floats and marchers, and as you said, this is going to be the biggest parade in history. We're thinking of maybe a couple hours.
We've been told Ed Scott, the head of Woodbridge Recreation, has done a magnificent job, which we're all going to see, and exactly it's going to take approximately 3 hours to finish.
As always, although our young viewers, we hope they stay interested, because near the end of the parade, we expect a very special visitor.
A really big one, Santa himself. We're looking forward to it right at this moment, Paul.
That should be a great thrill, of course. That is at the end of our parade, and believe me, we have lots of things to see, including representation from all three area high schools. It should be a great day for this parade. We are going to take a very short break. We will be back with the very first units to pass us by in just a moment.
Jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing up bushels of fun.
And welcome back, everyone. As we've mentioned, we are on St. George's Avenue in Woodbridge Township for this 32nd annual Woodbridge Township Christmas Parade. And Jack Fay, just before our first groups come into view here, we can already see them coming down St. George's Avenue. It has turned out to be a great day for a parade. A little bit cold, but it's not as bad.
For a Christmas parade, you know, we've gone from blizzards to fair, and this is just ideal. Long as you're sitting.
Oh, it's someone inside. Get out here.
Okay.
A couple of friends coming by to say hello to you, Jack.
That happened to be the mayor's father.
Oh,
Jack McCreevy.
Well, we already see the mayor there in his black coat. Yes, we will hear a message from the mayor.
Just happy holidays on behalf of myself, Jim McGreevy, my wife Carrie, and our newborn Morg, and just on behalf of the entirety of the township of Woodbridge. This is a great holiday parade. In fact, this is the largest now, not only in Woodbridge Township, but indeed the state of New Jersey. I'd like to publicly thank Ed Scott, our Director of Parks and Recreation, for all of his hard work, all of the merchants throughout Woodbridge Township, and most importantly, the children of Woodbridge Township for their involvement and their participation. And lastly, as we conclude our first year in office, I want to publicly thank all of those citizens throughout Woodbridge who played so much a part in revitalizing our government and hopefully providing a sound, constructive future for effective government, not only for tomorrow, but in the years and decades to come. Thank you very much, and happy holidays.
So Mayor McGreevy with his holiday message to the citizens of Woodbridge.
I think it's a particularly happy one for the mayor in his first year. His wife Carrie had a baby girl, a Morag, which happens to be Gaelic for Mary, so it's a particularly happy Merry Christmas to them.
Coming into view right now, the Marine Corps Leathernecks Pipe and Drums, organized just this past April. Let's listen in. The uniform they wear is a kilted version of the Marine dress blue uniform.
The band, Paul, is made up of present and former Marines. The pipe major is Joseph McConnelly. The drum major is Bernie Snyder. And they are proud to have World War II, Korean, and Vietnam veterans, as well as former Marines who served in our country as players.
And passing by right now, the Delaware Raritan Girl Scouts, the Brownies, Troops 1585, 1746, and Girl Scout Troop 727. Some of them carrying some large candy canes. Lots of balloons being blown around by the wind today. It's a bit windy here in Woodbridge Township, but still an enjoyable day to watch this parade.
They represent girls from the Avenel, Port Reading, Sea Warren units. They were organized in September 1990. They're leaders who, as all leaders, are to be commended for this kind of work. Nancy Caragino, Helen McGowan, and they're affiliated with Brownie Troop 456, Diane Gambetta, and Lisa Dworak.
Of course, from Troop 1746, Kathy McCarthy, Sandy Gallo. The leader of Girl Scout Troop 727 is Colleen Barcelona.
Thank you. Thank you, darling. I want to thank my wife, Dr. Carol Brown, for bringing coffee down for Paul and myself.
Trying to keep us warm on this great day for a parade. And again, Troop 727 marching by. Here are the Cub Scouts, pack number 148, organized in 1983. Mike Picarillo is the Cub Master. Bill Stevens is the Assistant Cub Master. Stars and stripes blowing in the wind.
Boy Scout Troop 31. This goes all the way back to February of 1957. They represent St. Anthony's Roman Catholic Church. It covers the parishioners of Port Reading and Sea Warren. The Scoutmaster is Rick Wiskowski.
Wiskowski, a very nice Polish name.
Yes.
Here in town.
And sponsored by Father Bob Lyman, the pastor of St. Anthony's.
And in the black uniforms, the Superstar Twirlers, organized in September of 1979, representing the Metuchen Rec Department under Diane Borwegian. And a long walk for those young ladies today, bundled up against the cold. And the next group that will be coming into view for those who live in town, particularly in the Island section of town, you're very familiar with the green and white of the Mustangs of Kennedy High School. The John F. Kennedy High School Marching Band under the direction of Ken Hunt. Jen Axon, Linda Hora are the drum majors. They won the 1992 Woodbridge Township St. Patrick's Day Parade First Place Band Award.
Teen competition too, Paul, and they rose to the occasion as always.
Now they have an advantage today. They're wearing the green of Christmas.
Yes.
I guess that gave them the advantage on St. Patrick's Day Parade also.
They can get us coming and going at Kennedy High.
Let's listen in for a moment to the Kennedy High School Marching Band. Represented by a float today. And the float representing Kennedy High, sponsored by Willard Dunham Construction. And Miss Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas is Jennifer Egan, and her court is Allison Eberhardt, Jackie Elmo, Kelly Hennessy, and Kelly Hess. Looking very lovely, and a real honor for the young ladies. Something else that they're going to find new, Paul, as they make the turn onto Main Street is the revitalized Main Street business area. The new administration, both mayor and council, have made some positive, strong movements in their first year, and one of the most significant or obvious is the new Main Street shopping area.
And it is a beautiful area. Matter of fact, I was down there doing a little Christmas shopping of my own just the other day. Beautiful brick pavement. Brownie Troop 28 just passed us by.
Yes. Delaware Raritan Scouts.
Coming into view right now, Port Reading Fire Department. Organized in 1904. Patrick Rinaldi is the chief.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all. The Port Reading Fire Club. Have a safe and healthy, happy holiday season.
They're followed by the Port Reading First Aid Squad. This is a group that was organized in 1970. The leaders are President Brian Small. The captain is Joe Figueroa. Again, I think we've said this, but it bears saying what this township owes to the fire companies, and particularly to their first aid squads, beyond words. Especially in the holiday season, where they're, unfortunately, you have to watch for fires, you have to watch for those kind of tragedies. These are the people who are there 24 hours a day and night.
No doubt about that. Lots, of course, extra electrical usage in the house, and of course, if you have a natural tree, the members of all the fire departments through the town just urging caution so that it continues to be a very happy holiday. Next in line, the Port Reading First Aid Squad, organized back in 1970. Brian Small is the president. Joe Figaro is the captain. And Jack, as always, these are very important groups in town, the First Aid Squads.
Yes, they are. The unsung heroes in many, many ways.
And also, they're helping out some of the kids along the route, a little candy to enjoy for the holidays from the Port Reading First Aid Squad. More brownies coming into view.
They're Brownie Girl Scout Troop 1239. Here you're representing most of the girls from the Colonia Island School 18 area. The leaders are Debbie Heimbach and Janice Miller.
And again, we apologize for our technical problems earlier in the parade, which unfortunately caused us to miss a nice close-up view of our Grand Marshal today, Senator Frank Lautenberg, and the members of the council. So we apologize for that. Unfortunately, problems could not be avoided.
We also had freeholder Pete Delina and freeholder Charles Garrod, newly elected freeholder-elect Jane Brady, Assemblyman Mikulak and Oros, Senator Corman. So I'm sure we promised them a good shot next year's parade.
That's true. We'll make it up to them on St. Patrick's Day.
I know they'll be there. Here's another great remembrance.
The Friendly Sons of the Shillelagh.
From Old Bridge. Organized in 1968, 25th anniversary in 93. Pipe Major Bart McDade, Ron Biddles, the drum major, Paul Wilson, the drum sergeant, Tom Duffy, the pipe sergeant, Ryan O'Sullivan, the pipe corporal. The kilt is a McNeil tart. They have a great reputation, the Friendly Sons. They keep excelling with each passing year. First place, the overseas band in Dublin, Ireland, where you most certainly have to be good to win prizes in Dublin, as we know. They also won the first place in the big St. Patrick's Day Parade in New York in 1889 and 92.
The parade today marched off from Woodbridge High School, went down Old St. George's Avenue into St. George's Avenue, and then they will make a left onto Main Street before finishing up in front of Town Hall.
Brownie Troop 222, representing School 27 in Colonia. Leader is Renee Obie. Girl Scout Troop 440, they represent Colonia School 21. The leader is Elaine Holman. Brownie Troop 1203, they represent Colonia and Island. Their leader is Christine Clancy.
Marching by in their green, yellow, and white outfits, the S.E. Shull School. They were the first place winners in last year's Woodbridge Christmas Parade. They also took a first in the Perth Amboy Memorial Day Parade.
It's good to have them here from Perth Amboy. They do the city of Perth Amboy proud. Very large turnout, very large marchers and band. Band leaders are Mr. John Granent and Mrs. Lisa Giambattista. They've also won special awards in the 1991 Christmas Parade, and they're wonderful.
And some of the costume characters that, of course, are attracting a lot of attention from our young viewers. And there are many, many young viewers today. It turned out to be a great turnout for the parade. We took a quick drive up to the school, and we were a bit surprised considering how cold it was, but yet again, it's a comfortable day. We were surprised to see the large turnout, and it's nice to see that the weather did not deter people from coming out to watch the parade today. Woodbridge Fire Company number 1, organized all the way back in 1897. Mike Sefcik is the chief.
They too are followed by the Woodbridge Emergency Squad. This group was organized in 1937. They represent Woodbridge proper and Seawarren. Richard Dunham is the captain, and Charles Paul II is the president. They are also making a particular appeal for members during the daytime hours. I think too often we take emergency squads for granted. These are people who, they are not.
They cut you off in mid-sentence.
I think they're actually looking truly hard for volunteers. These are people who are not paid. These are people who are highly trained, serve 24 hours a day, too often have to go hat in hand looking for their budget. And it's sad but true that too many people don't recognize and appreciate exactly what these men and women do for us and for their community. So if any of you are so inclined and looking for something noble to do, you couldn't do worse than volunteering for a first aid squad or the volunteer fire departments.
Some of the beautifully wrapped Girl Scouts marching down the street from Troop 232. Also from Troop 227. Bundled up against the cold. Finally, Cub Scout Pack 143 comes into Woodbridge Elks, number 2116. Warren Loader is the Cub Master. Pack 143. Enjoying the march today. I'm Paul Spahala, with me Jack Fay, and Jack, maybe the temperature has livened up the step a little bit of our marchers, but they all seem to be marching by with a smile.
Yes, they do, and you know, it does your heart good to see this kind of a turnout, this kind of a commitment, just from those marching and those who came out to be part of this as observers. Getting up to Tiger Cubs, Boy Scouts of America.
A beautiful turnout for this 32nd annual Woodbridge Township Christmas Parade. The Tiger Cubs pass by. Say, they're smart. They're making the dads walk and they're riding. Scott's Towing and Recovery.
This is one of the towing people in town. Scott Flowers is the president.
They have a special offer, which is good for this time of year. Between December 25th and January 1st, they will offer a free tow home or to a safe place within 5 miles to any individual who feels that they are in no condition to drive. And certainly, although this is a happy time of year, unfortunately, because of drinking-related accidents, it could turn into a sad time of year, and Scott's Towing is hopefully going to try and alleviate that with that offer. So again, it's a great offer. We're certainly not encouraging you to take part of it voluntarily, but if you find yourself in no condition to drive, that sounds like a great offer.
Some of the tragic facts of life, Paul, and especially such a heavily trafficked area as Woodbridge, Middlesex County. We're in the heart of major highways and major Christmas parties.
Here's another great group that is very familiar in town, the Blue and Gold of Colonia High School, the Marching Patriot Band. Leonard Gallo is the band director. They have well over 100 members in their groups, and they're all wearing their Christmas caps. Let's listen in.
Very well done. Great sound with the Colonia Marching Band.
2 of the 3 high schools marching by so far, and as was the case with Kennedy High, we have a float that comes with Colonia High School, and they have on their float Miss Christmas Joy.
This float is sponsored by Amaretta Hess. Miss Christmas Joy is Kristen Solaro, Tara Brophy, Kim Holmick, Kim Jarka, Kim Kelly, Lynn Matuska, and Sharon Venturi are the ladies in waiting with Miss Christmas Joy.
A couple of the costumed characters.
Now we have the Colonia Fire Department, organized in May of 1943. Chief is Phil Regan. Special awards, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place at Woodbridge parades. Followed by the Colonia District 12 First Aid Squad. That was organized in 1951. Captain is Kathleen Curran. This is my section of town where I've lived for 27 years. And I think, you know, when we keep having these different sections and everyone mentioned, when we mention all these different sections, Colonia is being particularly joyful today.
Over 95,000 people in Woodbridge Township.
27 square miles, the 5th largest community in the state. And you see the complexity and the enormity of servicing these people, both with fire protection and police protection. And I think what we're trying to do is bring this sense of awareness, this sense of hope, and what this township can be and should be. And this is just a perfect example of it, when you bring all these wonderful children and their parents together for this kind of a joyous parade, celebrating Christmas, celebrating Hanukkah, recognizing our diversities, but that we're ultimately helping each other.
That's a good point. There are certainly enough people that there could be problems, but on the other hand, there are more than enough people who can help solve those problems.
Yes,
so
truly, Paul.
Hopefully things will continue to improve in Woodbridge Township. And here's a representation of the people who eventually will help improve it, the youngsters of town. This group happens to represent the Pure Energy Woodbridge School of Dance. They've won various group and individual awards at competitions. The Girl Scouts, more scouts coming into view, Delaware Raritan Girl Scouts, Woodbridge Service Unit, but eventually the work that is started, as you said, by the good people of today will fall on the shoulders of these future citizens of Woodbridge. Well, they're current citizens, but future leaders of Woodbridge.
Oh, Paul, a township that has a long history. We go back to the early colonial period. A lot of towns claim it, but few. That Woodbridge was a major a point in the colonial period, the American Revolution, the beginning of this. The history of this country is the history of Woodbridge as well. Long, noble traditions and good times and bad. We look forward to the future.
Delaware Raritan Girl Scouts were first place winners in last year's Christmas parade. Troop 1579. Also Troop 279 of the Delaware Raritan Council. And Troop 743. They're followed in line by Cub Scout Pack 72 from Colonia.
Leader is Karen Barton.
A reminder that you are watching the 32nd annual Woodbridge Christmas Parade. We are located on St. George's Avenue in Woodbridge. And a little bit later, towards the end of the parade, a special visitor. But first, some visitors from a group, Jack, that I know you are particularly proud of.
Close to my heart, the American Irish Association of Woodbridge. They were organized July 4th, I think was the fall of 1966. The leader, Charles the Brave Shaughnessy, carrying the Stars and Stripes and the flag of the Irish Free State.
And of course, they sponsor the very popular Woodbridge St. Patrick's Day Parade. And amongst their other work,
couldn't do it without them.
Work at old soldiers' homes.
Yes.
Sponsoring children from Northern Ireland. A very active group.
Yes, they are, in more ways than one. Truly proud of them all.
And although we are at our Christmas Day Parade, we're only about 3 months shy of the St. Patrick's Day parade, and for those of our viewers who are not from Woodbridge Township, or maybe even are from the township and aren't familiar with that parade, it is a great spectacle. There's a Dalmatian. Looks like it's wrapped up for Christmas with that beautiful red bow.
The Island Chemical Hook and Ladder, Fire District 11, Dale Exenberger, the chief. We didn't catch the name of the Dalmatian, but he seems to be enjoying the parade as well as all of us. The Island section also has their first aid squad along in the parade. They were organized back in 1950. The captain is Ron Abel. The president is Wayne Carey. They're affiliated with Boy Scout Troop 348.
And Troop 348 marching right behind them. As Jack mentioned, the Island First Aid Squad is affiliated with that Boy Scout troop. And they are now providing to the public CPR and standard first aid training. And our company, Suburban Cable, offers that. I took those courses a few months ago, and it's a good thing to know. It's just a couple hours of your time to learn that. It's very valuable. So if you, again, have the time, we've already mentioned that many of the first aid squads need volunteers, and certainly that is a worthwhile thing to do. But if you can't give that full-time commitment, maybe just learning some CPR and standard first aid is also another thing that you could possibly do.
Now, it's a cliche, but it's also a truism. It's a matter of at times, of life and death.
The Island First Aid Squad. I know I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Council President Ken Gardner. I ran into him today. We missed him as he was marching along the parade route, but he did say to say hello. We had a nice chat this morning at breakfast. Coming into view right now, the Bears Bucket Brigade. This unit, a 1948 GMC Task Fire engine. It's operated and owned by Jerry and Rose Selecki, and that is a huge stuffed Dalmatian up on top. And some more of the costumed characters that are keeping the attention of our young viewers. We're only roughly halfway through our parade.
At this point, Paul, it wouldn't be wrong, I think, at all to recognize the magnificent job that Ed Scott, the head of Woodbridge Recreation, has done in putting this parade together.
That's for sure. Ed did a tremendous job, very helpful for our purposes. Coming into view right now, the skating Green Dragons. And of course, that could only mean that the marching Green Dragons of Brick Township High School are coming into our view. They were organized back in 1979. Let's listen in to the Brick Green Dragons.
LaGrata, the director. They've won first place in the St. Patrick's Day Parade in '92, the Universal Studios Florida Parade, and the New York State Elks Parade. And you can see why. Very, very well presented and playing the marching unit. It's good to have them here from Brick Township.
From VFW Memorial Post 7164, the Avenel Ladies Auxiliary Color Guard. They were second place trophy winners in the 1991 State Convention VFW.
Their leader is Captain Carol Wren.
They were first place winners in last year's Christmas parade. But you're right, Jack. Ed Scott, a great job of organizing today's parade. He gets an A in his first year on the job.
Yes. I think, you know, when we were talking about the new sense of hope and pride, I think we've found Mayor McCreevy, in his wisdom, has tried to bring in some of the top people in the state to lead up the particular departments in town. And this is just one small part of, I think, what Ed Scott has brought to our recreation program.
A couple of young viewers enjoying the parade and shaking hands with the characters.
The Avenel Fire Company #1 is upon us. They represent District 5. Their chief is Frank Boyle. Their president is Stanley Valinsky.
I get to, by the way, Jack, boastfully say that handsome young man, that was my son.
Oh, great.
And the beautiful young lady with him is my wife. They're enjoying the parade also.
It's good to have them here, Paul. a lovely family. You're fortunate.
But my wife didn't bring me coffee like yours. Fire Company #1 from Avenel. They have also won numerous awards from past township parades. And again, Avenel, another one of the sections in Woodbridge Township. As a matter of fact, that is our home base for Suburban Cablevision. I should also point out that Jeff, my son, is watching the parade today with his good friend Alberto.
Yes. First of many.
I'm surprised those two haven't walked out and stopped the parade already. They'll try it. See, they're all bundled up against the cold.
Yes, it's cold out there, Ed. We're fortunate to be inside.
There's Jeff, and to his right, there's Alberto.
Good shot.
very festive time throughout the world, and particularly here in Woodbridge Township as we get closer to the Christmas holidays. And of course, if you're interested in doing your shopping, you've got any number of hundreds and hundreds of stores to choose from right here in Woodbridge Township.
Again, where we mentioned where we are a crossroads of the state, and for the largest community in Middlesex County, we also are one of the largest shopping areas.
No doubt about it. Even if you think you've never heard of Woodbridge Township, which is hard to believe, more than likely you've been through here, because as you said, the Turnpike, the Parkway, Routes 1 and 9, Route 35, you name it, you've been through Woodbridge Township, and it's a great place to visit, and it's also a great place to live.
And the mayor and the council did want me to make the point that there have been a major strategy session on safety and security in our township. Within the township and within the shopping areas, there is an awareness that another insidious crime like carnapping is out there, and that the mayor, the prosecutor, the Freeholder Delina with the county park police, the transit authority have all come together to note the awareness, to more of a police presence and a security, to make the people of Woodbridge and the million people who go through Woodbridge that we are concerned, we are aware of the dangers and that unfortunately exist in our town, our state, our nation.
The Avenel Colonia First Aid Squad passing by. And as with all first aid squads, as we've mentioned already, they could always use extra help. And remember, it doesn't have to be a 40-hour-a-week commitment, nor does it have to be a 10-hour-a-week commitment. They just need any kind of help that you might be able to give. The Woodbridge Lions Club, organized about 35 years ago, representing Lions International.
Bill Gates is the president. He's carrying their banner. They will be bringing their iMobile trailer along. The Lions is a citizens club, a civic club, does a great deal of work with helping the blind and the hearing impaired, and by educational programs.
And the third of the township's 3 high schools marching now in review, the Woodbridge High School Barons Marching Band. Band leader James Young. They performed this past May in Disney World. We're going to have a chance to listen in right now to the Marching Barons wearing a very festive red along with the black and white, the school colors of Woodbridge High School. That's where the parade kicked off today. Let's listen in.
Reina Torres. Her court is Maura Almasi, Kristen Suzuki, Jennifer Donnelly, and Christine Vittoric. Again, I think there aren't many communities in our state that can boast 3 high schools. And again, I think it shows the size and the diversity of our township, where
That's true. I'm trying to quickly run through my mind through our longtime sports associations with the schools. And 3 public schools in 1 township, that's, I'll tell you, that goes a long way.
Yes.
Not that I can think of offhand. So again, 3 public schools in this huge community called Woodbridge Township. Ford's Fire Company number 1 coming into view right now.
Chief is Todd Pinter. Here's another major section of our township, the home of freeholder Pete Delina, freeholder elect.
Was that Dalmatian driving the top of the truck there?
If he is, I better give him a breathalyzer. And,
of course, the Dalmatian, the long-time animal representation of all fire companies. St. John's First Aid Squad, passing in review.
My father, God have mercy on him, was a fire captain in Elizabeth. And that's always one of, I think, the first animal I met was a Dalmatian. I think.
And then right after that, an Irish wolfhound.
An Irish setter,
Yes.
and built up to a wolfhound for the St. Patrick's Day parades. The St. John's First Aid Squad that also services the Fords area. We have the Weequahic High School marching band coming towards us, visiting from Newark. Represents Weequahic High School.
Prior to them, however, this beautiful 1964 Ford. Raymo Winkle of Montclair is the owner, and we should say proud owner, and again, a very beautiful Christmas red.
Yes.
And Jack, as you did mention, we, in addition to our visitors from the shore area, Brick Township High School, we do have visitors today from the city of Newark. Organized in 1984, the Weequahic High School Band, representing, of course, Weequahic High in Newark. Otis Brown Jr. is the band director, and they've won many awards and parades throughout the state of New Jersey. Let's listen in to Weequahic High School. Very lively. Weequahic High School. And we thank them for their participation in today's parade. Very nice sound.
That's a good sign too, that this is not a parochial Woodbridge parade. It's far down the shore. Wonderful visitors here from Newark with a great sound. It's just a good, I think, message that we send here in this township.
That's true. It attracts a great crowd. Matter of fact, we're going to take a short break right now, and we'll bring you more of this parade in just a moment. The Ragtimers passing in review.
It's another great American tradition, Dixieland.
And passing behind them, a float sponsored by Century 21 Main Street Realty. Santa's Workshop, the theme. This parade taking place December 6th of 1992, which means we are less than 3 weeks away from the very much anticipated day by youngsters throughout Woodbridge Township, New Jersey, and America and the world, Christmas Day.
The Perth Amboy Fire Department, organized in 1881. City by the Bay, sister neighboring city to Woodbridge. I don't have
The Colonial Musketeers from Hackettstown.
Dressed in their colonial finery. Another art that we're trying to maintain is the fife and drum corps, which this colonial group happens to be. Perth Amboy Fire Department. Very large turnout. Chief John McCardle of the Perth Amboy Fire Department. The first assistant is Steve Doyle, and the second assistant is Peter Kaba, sorry.
Serving since 1881.
Yeah.
And they've got a well-decorated float.
Yes. Do themselves proud. Perth Amboy also has a new mayor, Mayor Joseph Vaz.
Children on the float enjoying the tree and the presents. Old piece of apparatus
Yes.
passing by. Engine open up. And quickly followed by the newer firefighting equipment. I keep trying to keep an eye out for our good friend Dave Volk, who's a member of the Perth Amboy Fire Department. I don't happen to see him. I guess he was left back for duty today.
Somebody has to watch the city for.
That's true.
Here's the South Amboy Fire Department with two pieces of their equipment.
And still the long line continues down St. George's Avenue, Route 35 here in Woodbridge Township. We are well into our second hour of the parade. Bundled up against the cold, but enjoying the view.
Yes, the crowd is holding on. Progressive Fire Company from South Amboy. Also the Merck Fire Department Merck, one of the major pharmaceuticals in our area from Rahway, with their own fire unit. This was organized almost 50 years ago. Assistant Chief is Ron Canterman, and they received awards at the Woodbridge Township St. Patrick's Day Parade and the Clark Township Columbus Parade. They not only protect Merck, they're also committed to protecting their neighboring communities of Rahway, Woodbridge, and Clark. District 8, VFW Ladies Auxiliary Color Guard. They're organized in 1987. The Senior Women's Color Guard, the district president is Linda Cucci. They won the Best Ladies Color Guard VFW convention in New Jersey. And you can see why. Marching the colors by. The Ladies Auxiliary District 8 President is also in the parade waving at us.
Coming into view right now in their green uniforms from Perth Amboy, William C. McGinnis Middle School. 75 strong. Carl Broadbeck is the band leader. They've won 38 trophies in 14 years of competitions, including 20 first place trophies. And they have been part of this Woodbridge parade since 1978. The William C. McGinnis Middle School of Perth Amboy. Let's listen in.
Followed by the Sons of the Desert Shrine.
And then the Black Heritage Riders of America. They'll be bringing some horses in with their group. Miles Dean is the organizer. They won an award as the best marching unit in the city of Plainfield. They have marched in the tri-state area. They have a youth division, a senior citizen division, and an arts division. And they also have a truck that's ready for riding with those horns on the front. And in just a moment, we're going to see some of the riders of the Black Heritage Riders of America.
Yes. That's impressive. General Custer, eat your heart out there.
Beautiful horses.
They were the best marching unit in the city of Plainfield parades. They've marched in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. And that's this is not an easy group to get into a parade where you have to bring your horses with you.
That's true.
We've got them all out.
This particular float is sponsored by Ford's Jeweler, Fine Star Insurance Agency, the Ford's Travel Center, and All Home Improvement. It's got a number of township children on.
Statty.
The Toyland Express.
Yes. Another section of Woodbridge Township, Hope Lawn, being represented by their fire company. They were organized in 1914. Their chief is Nick Pinelli.
And we just received word from the rec department that the last unit has just left Woodbridge High School.
Whoa.
Coming right at us. The Hope Lawn Fire Company number one.
Said.
Sitting up in the cab, enjoying the ride from Hope Lawn Engine Company number one.
Many of the first aid squads are being very generous in keeping with the season by tossing candy out to the children and their family along the way.
Our next float coming into view, the Soul Patrol. Director Joe Grillo, a sax player and vocalist, has performed with Bill Cosby, Stanley Jordan, and Leslie Gore. Patty Balbo is the vocalist.
Soul Patrol. Just don't write them like that anymore, Paul.
Another one of Woodbridge Township's neighbors, Carteret, and the Carteret Volunteer Fire Department. And their first aid squad under Chief Keith Packard. By the way, in 1993, Jack, they'll be celebrating their 100th anniversary.
Okay, God love them. It's always, you know, it's always a landmark. Their chief is chief of the Carteret Fire Department is Keith Packard, and their first aid squad, their leader is Tom Resco, the captain.
I should point out that the community of Carteret has another reason to be very proud in a event televised yesterday on TV3. The Carteret High School football team captured a state championship with a victory over Princeton in a game we televised on TV3. So our congratulations go out to Jeff Weiner and the entire team at Carteret High School.
Congratulations indeed.
Not only state champions, Jack, a perfect 11-0 season. They were a fine, organized group of young men, and they were dedicated towards that goal, and they accomplished it yesterday. And again, Carteret has every reason to be proud of the young men who represented them out on the football field.
Absolutely. It's a great and a very difficult encounter when you're the best in the state by far. And Carteret, you know, they play a tough schedule, and most certainly they showed that they were the best in the state in every way. Congratulations to them, their coaches, the faculty, their parents, and to all the people of Carteret.
It was a great accomplishment. We hope our friends from Carteret enjoyed our coverage of the game. It was a great experience. They were, again, a tremendous team and played a great game. So our congratulations to our neighboring city in Carteret. Coming into view right now, a float from Floral Corner. And again, there'll be quite a few township children on this float, including some recognizable yellow people. Let's see if we can make out who they are. It's the Simpsons. Corvettes.
Year of the American family.
Homer, Marge,
Yes.
and Bart.
This is the Trinity Episcopal Church. We're talking about 100 years. This was a church organized in 1698.
Yeah, how about 300 years?
Yes. The dignitaries, Reverend Robert Councilman's the pastor. This is one of the oldest Episcopal churches in the state of New Jersey and in the United States of America. A really bright star in the township complement.
This is the Rick Richards Orchestra.
From rock to buck.
Playing that old Christmas standard, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
They're also available, they wanted you to know, for weddings, social affairs, etc. Irish wakes, weddings.
And here is one of the most popular participants in the parade. If you have a young child, you know Barney the Purple Dinosaur. It is a phenomenon that is taken off in just about a year. Everyone with a young child knows Barney.
Good to see you up and around, Barney.
One group that always attracts a lot of attention in the township parades that we've covered through the years, the Woodbridge Corvette Club. And you can see from our wide shot here, they stretch out for much longer than a city block. And if you're any kind of sports car enthusiast, you are going to enjoy the next few moments of this parade, the Woodbridge Corvette Club. Name a year, and it's probably represented out there.
The crowds are still holding as we go 10 after 3. The parade does end up at Town Hall, where the dignitaries watch them pass and review, and the awards will be, the marching groups will be judged and awards will be made.
Frank DeDiego is the organizer of the Woodbridge Corvette Club, organized back in 1978. And as we said, you can almost name any year of Corvette model, and you will see it out on the street today. One of the great American sports cars. I don't know of a more proud group of owners of their automobiles than those who own the Corvette. It is certainly one of the most distinctive cars made in America, and as you can see, it comes in all shapes and sizes and colors. Certainly there's a classic. I guess after I hit the pick 6, I'll buy myself a Corvette and I'll enter the parade and I'll wave to you.
Paul, you have my vote for the officer of the have a coup d'etat with the Corvette Club here.
And if we can get a quick look at the license plate on that yellow one,
Yes.
Toy for Two. There you can see the very personalized plate.
And here's the answer to the Corvette Club.
I was going to say, before you had Corvettes, you had a 1933 Duesenberg. Dennis Radke, the owner of that beautiful automobile. I guess the Corvette of its day.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, it's in outstanding shape. Very proud owner.
Yes. Let's see, another.
The Worcester Street Trolley Jazz Band, organized in 1973, Dixieland Jazz.
Leader is Bob Lean. They performed at the Giant Stadium, and you have to admire their courage to be at the Giant Stadiums recently. The World Yacht Club in New York City. And here's another one of our sections is Caseby, the Caseby section of Woodbridge. Their chief is Matt Winkler. Their assistant chief is Tom Barry.
Looks to be a Mack pumper.
Yes.
Okay, I can't guarantee. That's up to the director.
All right, but if you want to do it, could you write it down this way when you show it later on?
Okay, I really can't do that because then I'd have to announce everybody's name.
So nobody gets announced. Oh, okay.
Well, I get it. It's much fairer that way.
Here's a float sponsored by United Jersey Bank. Season's greetings and a Happy New Year from United Jersey Banks. And here comes another new twist in parades, the Go-Kart Club. School 24 of Island, John Kurtzenberger and John Rigos. They got a special award at the St. Patrick's Day Parade in '91. I think that kid pushing them should get a special award too. Just
We are almost near the end of our parade, and we will, in just a few moments,
Richmond
have
County.
a special visitor and a special message from that special visitor.
There's an antique 46 Chevy pickup. I didn't know a 46 qualified. What happens to people like myself who were born in 1927?
If you were an automobile, you'd be an antique.
All right. I mean, it makes you get choked up. Robert and Mary Watson own this car, and it's their 46th anniversary. I don't know whether it's theirs or the car's, but good luck, Robert and Mary.
New Jersey Triumph Association, another sports car club. Alan Rosenberg is the organizer. New Jersey Triumph Association. Well, it didn't turn out to be a picture-perfect day for weather. The sun went in, but still the festivities and the happy faces on the marchers made it a warm day. So even without the sun, it was a warm day in Woodbridge Township. We hope you've enjoyed your view of the parade. We still have a little ways to go, and as we said, we will have a special visitor and a special message from that visitor in just a few moments as we will wrap up our coverage of the 32nd annual Woodbridge Christmas Parade. We've talked already about the many visitors that we've had from north of Woodbridge, south of Woodbridge, and Hackettstown west of Woodbridge. We've got a another marching group that will be coming shortly into view, and that will be a group from Allentown High School, the Redbird Marching Band.
It's good to have them with us.
See, they're keeping the music lively so that everyone's still
Yes.
moving around outside, staying warm. Peter Morrow is the band director. They've won numerous first-place awards. Boy, they've been all over New York, Quebec, Nassau in the Bahamas, Walt Disney World.
I'm willing to volunteer for their next parade to Nassau in the Bahamas.
You'll be a chaperone.
Yes. Love this in Allentown. Very good looking band. Very good looking. They've been out there a long time, ladies and gentlemen.
Their beautiful red uniforms, symbolic of the Christmas season. They are a huge group.
Very well coached, very well drilled.
Beautiful young ladies in front of the band, and let's listen in for a moment to the Allentown High School Redbird Marching Band.
Excellent presentation.
Another great band.
Yeah.
We've had them all today.
Yes.
And of course, the Allentown High School Band had the pleasure of marching right in front of the most popular person in any Christmas parade, Santa Claus. And as we mentioned, we have a special message from Santa Claus to all our young viewers. Here it is.
Santa wishes all the children everywhere a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you get all the presents that you wish for, and please be good and be careful.
Santa Claus with a special message to all the children. The Rio Diner sponsoring the float, and we've been located all day right across the street from the Rio. And the very last unit in the parade, Jim's Stable. Jim Matty, the owner-operator from Somerville, New Jersey. Jim, a Woodbridge native, Jack?
Yes, Jim is only the first one to tell you, born and raised in Woodbridge, and thinks it's the best hometown anyone could have. It's a family Christmas on horseback, and Jim, I want to second your motion. I would like to thank Paul, the people from Cable 3, the mayor and the council, and really the people of Woodbridge and all of surrounding towns that just made this a wonderful, wonderful, warm official beginning of our holiday season.
And you're right about that. It was a warm feeling, overcame the coldness of the day. It was just a tremendous 32nd annual Woodbridge Christmas Parade, and we thank again Ed Scott. We certainly couldn't have done it without his help, our rec director. I offer him special thanks for all his cooperation with us, and certainly all the other people you mentioned involved in city government, and hopefully many of the things we spoke of, a better Woodbridge Township, more volunteers for first aid squads, and everything else will come to pass this Christmas. But our special message to Jack Fay and to everyone else watching today from Suburban Cablevision is a very happy holidays for everyone, and maybe more importantly, a very safe holiday for everyone. And one thing I would like to point out very quickly, there are many people in this very tough economic times who are not going to enjoy a very happy Christmas. There are many organizations, such as Toys for Tots from the Marines. They have collection points at many area malls. At Woodbridge Public Library, they have a tree where you can pull off a name tag, buy a gift for a young child, boy or girl, who may not have a very Merry Christmas, drop off points for warm coats. There are any one of dozens of things that you can do to make this a happier Christmas for people who you don't even know, and that is the true spirit of Christmas.
That's so true, Paul, and I just want to reiterate that point that with all we have, there is still many, many in need. As cold as it is today, there are people who need a wool hat and a coat, and the children that we've seen, there are many children that won't get a present unless we reach out to them.
So if it is partly due to the parade that maybe lifted your spirits a little bit, if you can think about going out, and whether it be through a food donation, clothing, or even a present that would warm up someone's holidays, hopefully this parade encouraged you to do so. That will do it for our coverage of the 32nd Annual Woodbridge Township Christmas Parade. For Jack Fay, I'm Paul Spahala, and from everyone on our staff here at Suburban Cablevision, we wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Goodbye, everyone.
To rock the night away. Jingle bell time is a swell time to go gliding in the one-horse sleigh. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet, jingle around the clock. Mix and a mingle in the jingling feet. That's the Jingle Bell Rock. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell chime and jingle bell time. Dancing and prancing in Jingle Bell Square.